we open wide the virtual stage where ideas spark and wisdom fills the page. From the UK to the land of maple trees, John and Mike bring clarity with ease. We're building meetings, webinars with might, helping you shine, your message taking flight. Whether you're new or you've done this before, Lord Zoom Live will help you do much more. We're building meetings, webinars with might, helping you shine, your message taking flight. Whether you're new or you've done this before, Lord Zoom Live will help you do much more. Thank you for joining us, we're glad you're here. Together we grow, it's loud and clear. On Zoom we connect, we learn, we grow. Welcome my friend, enjoy the show. From big events to breakout rooms with flair, we've got the tools and we're ready to share. Guest experts drop in, bringing gold each time, with insights and tricks to help you climb. Can't make it live? We've got you still on YouTube and LinkedIn. We're giving that thrill, so tune in later or catch us next round. Either way, your success is where we're bound. Thank you for joining us, we're glad you're here. Together we grow, it's loud and clear. On Zoom we connect, we learn, we glow. Welcome my friend, enjoy the show. And make it live, we've got you still on YouTube and LinkedIn. We're giving that thrill, so tune in later or catch us next round. Either way, your success is where we're bound. Now take the spotlight, the stage is yours. Bring your message through virtual doors. Each week we gather, and now you know you're not alone, so let it flow. Thank you for joining us, now go and shine. Share what you've learned, your voice, your time. With Lord Zoom Live, your power will grow. It's time to build your own show.
Welcome to Lord Zoom Live. And yes, it is my Christmas wish that I should learn that guitar solo. We'll see what happens. We have a very exciting show for you today because we're going to show you how to give back and be part of the Zoom community, because we have our friend, what we call her Bree. Bree is our ultimate community champion because she is responsible for, cheerleader for, and the leader, as far as I am concerned, for everything that happens in the Zoom community. Bree, welcome so much to the show.
Thanks for having me, John. I'm super excited to share with you all and to meet your virtual audience. As you know, I love all things community.
Thank you. Now, my stats are 60-40, I think, but we'll just take the 50-50 rule for now.
Okay, that's fine.
Round about half of Zoom is in the big world, the corporates and the business plus with hundreds of users. And half of the community, I believe, is the smaller groups, the pro accounts, the business accounts with a few people in it, not very large organizations. And of course, the corporates are paying lots of money for lots of seats and lots of features, and they get lots of support. But of course, Zoom can't afford to have an account manager dedicated to every single person who has a license. So we have a Zoom community.
And that's the beautiful thing about the community. The community is for everybody, whether you're free or paid. And a lot of our base is free users, and anyone can post in there, ask questions, learn from each other. And that's the beauty of it, because Zoom, I swear we had a Zoom boom. And with a Zoom boom like that, of course, there are going to be questions, because even before I worked at Zoom, when I first started using Zoom, I had plenty of questions. And the community wasn't around then, but thankfully we have it now for everybody to ask their questions and, find the solutions they're looking for.
And I think it's fair to say the Zoom community is pretty enormous. I mean, we have monthly meetings and you show me stats, and the numbers are just mind-boggling.
The numbers are crazy. Just to think we launched in August of 2021, and to see that we have over 400,000 users it's crazy to me, but it shows just how much people wanted this space. There's an audience for it, and people are constantly going there as a source of truth to find the solutions to the questions that they have. And you all, the champions, have made this process even more great, because without your support, yeah, we might have had the numbers, but is the community going to be as helpful without the community champions? The community champions have just blown things away, and y'all contribute so much, and we're forever grateful for y'all, because community wouldn't be the same without y'all. But we've grown so fast and continue to grow.
Yeah. So let's explain then what users are and champions are. So as far as I understand it, anybody can join the Zoom community.
Yeah, anybody with a Zoom account can sign up to create a profile on the community, and that's the beauty of it. It's easy to join. It's easy to find the knowledge that you're looking for. But as far as the champion program goes, the champion program is probably my favorite part of the community, because it just allows for us to connect with Zoom super users, which is made up of, it's about 20-ish customers. We have some employee champions as well, in addition to some partner champions. And I love meeting with y'all every month, and y'all go in and day out. You volunteer your time freely to provide solutions to our 400,000 plus user base. And y'all just contribute so much. And I learn from you all learn from us. And it's also just really good to have direct access to y'all, because we learn so much from y'all. We learn what's working, because y'all are in there day in and day out. And we learn what's not working, so we can take that feedback to other teams here at Zoom, which is beneficial for us as well as for y'all. So I feel like we're always, gaining something from each other. And anybody can sign up to become a champion, but we do want the champion program to be mostly Zoom experts. So while our requirements are kind of loose, as long as you're in the community participating, providing solutions, liking posts, and fairly active, we don't restrict anyone from joining mostly.
Now, I'm a Zoom community champion, been so for quite a while.
You are. You're a great champion.
Thank you. But even I go back to the community for help sometimes, because there are things that I use all the time. I'm running events 3 or 4 a week. Yeah. So I know the events package really well. And I probably, we pull the leg. We'll call him out because he's a nice guy. But Josh is responsible for promoting Zoom events.
Yes,
and we put his leg because we know more about it than he does. Because he's the product manager, he's got to do all the paperwork. He's got to get all the new features. He's got to do all the admin. All we do is play
all the admin stuff.
Well, I'm glad I don't have too much admin stuff to do, because thanks to Zoom events, there's not much admin to do. I just set up the event.
You use it.
Yeah. And you use it. And Josh, as an example of a Zoom employee who went from product manager to using his own product, his skill using this product has just changed. It's just, he's not the same guy anymore. He's now using it himself. He's using it to promote his own product with his own product. And he's becoming, he doesn't realize it, but he's becoming a champion in that product because he's using it all the time. Yeah. I got Zoom Phone. I'm not very good at Zoom Phone. So when I have a problem with Zoom Phone, I go into the community and I can search for the problem I have. And 9 times out of 10, somebody's already had the same problem and somebody else has already given an answer.
And that's the beauty of the community, because if you have a question about how to use Zoom Phone, for example, chances are there's somebody else had a similar question, especially if they're new to a product And chances are, if they've had the same issue with the product, somebody might have had the same issue and they already found the solution. And that's the thing that I love about the community. You can constantly go in there, whatever issue you're having, you can search for something and you can find the answer fairly quickly, because even me, there are some Zoom features I don't use. And if I'm trying to learn a little bit more about that product or that feature, the first place I usually go to is the community, because I know y'all champions, you're in there all the time. Y'all might have already provided a solution to another customer who had a similar question to me. And I learned so much from y'all. So the community is definitely like the source of knowledge for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's more documented information and knowledge in the community forum than there is anywhere else in Zoom.
Because there's
Because
so many posts, so many replies, and they're constantly coming in because we're constantly having questions. And the speed at which things move here at Zoom, there's always something new to learn too. So the community is definitely a place to learn more about new products and to just see how other people are using Zoom, because it's just like we all have our own experiences. Like you said earlier, we have free users, we have paid users, we have people from large companies, small companies. And when you bring all those folks together on one community forum, just the exchange of knowledge is always going to be great, because we all have different experiences, different backgrounds, and we can learn from each other, which is what we do here at the community.
yes, and it's divided up into the different parts of Zoom there are. It's always out of date because there's always new bits are turning up. I'm waiting for the to-do forum. We haven't had a to-do forum yet.
Hey.
Maybe we should put that on our to-do list to have a to-do
Honestly,
forum.
yes. And that's, like I said earlier, things are always moving quickly here at Zoom. And with the community, the way it's organized, we do have our product forums, and we have a forum from our most commonly used products, and we are constantly growing our product forums. It just depends on, is this product available to everyone as of right now? Is it only available to certain people? Because if it's not available to most of our global Zoom users, we probably won't create a product forum for it just yet. But we have forums. That's how our community is organized. For like meetings is definitely a hot one. AI companion, Zoom phone, very popular as well. Zoom events, which I really love having our champions in, because most of our champions are Zoom events experts. And you can go throughout any of the forums in the community, and you can find the questions that are being asked. You can find the solutions that have already been provided, and chances are you'll see our champions on the leaderboard providing all the solutions and helpful replies. But I love the way the community is structured, because the way that I approach things, whenever I have questions, I kind of want to go through it with the structured like mentality. And just because we have the navigation, it makes it easy to go to Zoom meetings, for example, see all the questions. And then if I don't see my question posted, I can post it myself if I wanted to. But I'm an employee, so I feel like I can go to y'all champions, or I can go to someone internally. But just for a regular user, I feel like we make it easy to find the knowledge in the community, just because like you can easily search, you can easily post, and we want to make it easier for our customers to find the answers that they're looking for.
Yes, it's a very good example of a community that gives and gives back, because I learned so much from the forums. I just by scanning all the latest questions, I knew that Amazon had crashed and broken lots of things the internet a couple of weeks ago. Why? Because I saw it in the forums. There were people in the forums, people started having problems. And as soon as people knew there was problems, that you're not on your
they're going
own.
to check the community, because chances are if they're having an issue, someone else is going to have an issue. Because I know in my experience with like things breaking in the past, like if I'm just trying to make sure it's not my phone messing up, for example, I'm going to search to see, okay, am I the only one having this issue, or is this something that's happening to other people? And when you see someone else posting like, oh, I'm having an issue with my phone, and you say, okay, I'm not the only one, so chances are that they know that this is an issue. So they're working on the fix. But yeah, the community is definitely a place for that. If you're trying to get information on outages, whatever, the community is definitely a source of truth that you can go to.
Yeah. And every time there's a new feature that's been launched, if you don't understand it, go into the forums, either ask the question or look for the question being asked, because
exactly,
we all think we're unique. At the end of the day, we all have the same issues. We all have the same problems.
issue, because we're using the same technology at the end of the day, even though our use of it might be different, but the way we approach it doesn't have to be different from just about anybody else, because we're at the heart of it, we're all just kind of trying to find the answers and make the things that we use on a daily basis a lot easier to use. So, yeah. And that's a
And
big
I
thing
have
about
to
the
admit,
community.
I'm inspired sometimes by the questions in the community because I'm a Zoom
Yes.
developer as well. And sometimes I look at the questions and I think, I never thought of doing it that way. That's a good idea. I should do
And
that
that's
as
and
well.
that's why I love when people share success stories in the community. I wish we had like more examples of like how people are using Zoom today. Because like most of the time when someone's posting in the community, they're posting a question that needs an answer. But I do love when we do have those chances where people are, sharing how they're using Zoom, how it's beneficial to them. Not necessarily a question, but more so just, sharing information. I love that because oftentimes people are approaching Zoom in ways that I haven't thought to use Zoom because I'm oftentimes going into work with the mentality that I'm like, I'm very community focused and this is how I use Zoom on a day-to-day basis. But I don't really think of like how people are using webinars to, run their businesses every day, for example. But when I see people posting questions, it kind of puts me into their, perspective and how they're approaching things. And that helps me do my job a little bit better too. So I love to see the type of things that people are talking about in the community. And you have people from everywhere just posting questions or posting just helpful tidbits, and it helps everybody. And I'm always learning.
Yeah, sometimes I've seen questions in there and I thought, oh, I know what that is. And somebody will come up with a completely different
Yep.
answer that I've never thought of doing. And I think, wow, that's so clever.
And it's so
I need to do that.
enlightening too. And that's
Yeah.
one of the things I love about our champion program too, because y'all, sometimes the questions that y'all post, I look at them and I'm like, wow, I didn't think of that question. Or somebody will provide an answer to a question that another champion posts. And I'm like, that's a very smart way to do it. But like I said earlier, we're always learning from each other and our champions. Y'all have so much knowledge because you are the ones using our products day in and day out. So oftentimes you are thinking of things that we aren't thinking of. And that's helpful for us to know and helpful for other champions too. So that's why I always recommend joining the champion program because you can learn from, even if you're just an employee or if you're a customer, like you can learn so much information just from just being connected to each other.
Yeah. Well, we as community champions, we learn from you Zoom employees as well, because sometimes there are product features that are released and we think we know what the use or the reason
Yeah.
why that feature's come up because we've got a problem that it fixes. And then
Mm-hmm.
suddenly one of you chirps up and says, oh no, we've brought this out because of X. And you go, wow, what, you can do
Like
that
this
with
is
it?
the
And it
goal
just,
here.
oh, you know,
That really just
completely.
changes the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, that exchange of knowledge that happens in the community is so beautiful, and that exchange of knowledge within the community champion program too, because I feel like the two they're very similar, but because the champions, y'all are super users, like you are just the best of the Zoom user base, and y'all already have so much knowledge to share. And then when we release new things, like yeah, like we have some insider knowledge on how things are supposed to work and who they're intended for, but when y'all start to use our new features, that's why I really got excited when AI Companion came out because I was like, I'm ready to see how our champions are going to be using it. I'm ready to see the things that they like about it, the things they don't like about it. And then I just feel like it's just going to make the product better because we have that feedback loop going on.
Yeah, and AI, I've learned a lot from what the corporates are using it for, because of course they're much more structured at the moment than the average small business with data and where they're using it and how they're using it and integrating with HubSpot, Salesforce, and yes, other
Mhm.
CRM packages are available. The way they're taking data and then making use of it inspires me for my marketing in my small business world. So it is lovely to see what they're up to as well. Uh, I'm
Right.
I'm I'm lucky because I'm also a community champion for the developers,
I
and of
know. So
course,
it's like you have two different networks to feed off of.
yeah, and I tend to do that. I tend to be bringing one thing from one side and
You
using it in the
do.
other,
You
and
you
vice
mentioned that a
versa.
lot in our champion calls, and I love that because it's just like I don't know. It's like the benefit of being connected to two different networks is just amazing because you can get all that knowledge from the champion program. Then the developer side of things is it's kind of similar, like the developer community. It's similar to our normal community. I don't mean to say normal, but like the community that I'm used to. But the developer side is just y'all approach things so differently. So oftentimes when you bring up questions in our champion calls, it's just like I think you approach it from a developer mindset, and it just makes us it makes us stay on our toes because oftentimes you'll ask something like, I don't know, John. Hopefully someone else knows, or we know someone who can provide a solution because we didn't think of that.
Well, and Zoom is so darn big. It covers
is.
so many different areas. There's no way it can do everything. I'm amazed the level it works now. And if I think back to barely 5 years ago when I first started using it, when all we had was Zoom meeting.
It's all we had at first. And just think of like 5 years later, all the things that we have access to now. It's just amazing at the speed of which Zoom is moving. Like new things are constantly being rolled out, and it's amazing. It's amazing to see.
So I've got some really silly questions for you.
Okay. I love silly questions.
So we have some matrix that we work on within the community that you always bring up the monthly meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think is it about 30 hours, the average response time to a community post? Is that about the right figure?
I believe that's about right.
I mean, that's amazing. It's because I mean, people are going to say, gosh, why can't you do it in 2 or 3 hours? But remember, this is a global 24/7.
It's a global community.
And it only takes a day and a third for people to get average response time.
I know, because oftentimes it can be quicker than that. It just depends. And that's an amazing thing because if I'm someone who's seeking support, obviously I want, like, if I'm having a major issue with Zoom or whatever product I'm working on at the time, like I want a quick response, and people really do value quick responses. And knowing that you can get a timely reply from someone who has all this Zoom knowledge, which is what you get in the Zoom community, that's a comforting thing to know. And that's the thing that would keep me coming back to the community. And I think that's why a lot of the champions keep coming back. A lot of our, the users in the community keep coming back to the community as a source of truth because they know that they can post in the community and get a response from a champion, an employee who knows the product the best. So
let me really, really hammer this home, if I may. I mean, I'm bigging you up, but I want to hammer this home because I remember having to pay a lot of money for other products to get guaranteed engineer response in 4 hours, 8 hours. And they only work on 8-hour days. So an 8-hour response time is effectively a 1-day response. And the community is doing it at an average of 30 hours. That is absolutely phenomenal.
I just think that just really helps a lot of people too, because you think our free users, like not everyone has access to that type of support in the community. It just kind of bridges the gap. Anyone can post, anyone can go there to find an answer to a question that they may have. And that just allows more people to be helped and more people to just continue using Zoom. Because if we didn't have the community, for example, where would those people go to find the answers to the questions? Yes, we have our knowledge base, which I use a lot too, because I love to see, just things laid out step by step, like how I should be doing this. But sometimes I still may have like a follow-up question, for example, which I think is a thing that happens to a lot of our users too. They might have a follow-up question even after reading the knowledge base, and the community is a good place to go to ask those follow-up questions. And if they didn't have that, how else would they find the answers that they're looking for?
Okay, so let's take that a bit further then, if we may. I'm going to be very careful the way I say this. The Zoom champions obviously are the leaders of the Zoom community. But the Zoom community itself probably doesn't realize what influence it has on Zoom itself, because I know, because I've experienced it many times, that if things are brought up in the Zoom community, and there are quite a few people having this similar issue, this has an influence on what Zoom does next, doesn't it? And those messages are not just solving problems. I know that product managers and developers in Zoom and engineers in Zoom will look at Zoom community feedback, and they will use that to further the next version of Zoom.
Absolutely, because why wouldn't they? If you have free access to all this feedback, and if you can see all these people posting about certain things, why wouldn't you take that feedback and make our product better? So that's another beautiful thing that comes from the community. It helps us at Zoom. It helps us figure out like gaps in our products, things that people love and might want to see in our products. It's just the things that we learn to help Zoom become better in the community. It's amazing. And we get that from our users and our champions in particular, because y'all are very vocal, which we really appreciate, because if there's an issue, if there's something that y'all want to see, y'all have the ability to bring that up to us. And then we have the ability to take that internally, discuss, and take it to the appropriate teams. And our champion program is the best way to do that, because that direct line of access from customer to employee to the product is amazing. And our champion program is really doing its job. It's doing what we had intended it to do. Like, yes, y'all are in the community crushing it. Y'all contribute so many of the solutions in the community. I wish Carla was on here so she can talk more about the metrics, but y'all contribute so, like, the majority of the solutions in the community are provided by y'all. And I swear, like, without y'all, the community would just, I don't even know. I don't even like to think about what it would be like without our champions.
Well, thank you for that. So if you do have a particular issue that bugs you and you put it in the community forums, even if you don't get a satisfactory answer because it's just not possible for whatever reason, don't think that Zoom isn't taking notice of that.
Yeah, someone's going to see it and we're going to take note of it and discuss it, because obviously we take all of the pain points that people post in the community seriously. Oftentimes we might have thousands of posts in the community posted within a week, but still, like, your post is going to be seen by someone. And even if we can't take direct action on it right away, someone is seeing it. And even if you don't get the answer that you want to get, which sometimes, unfortunately, that happens because you just really can't please everyone or whatnot. But I still think there's a benefit in posting in the community, because someone's going to see it. And if someone else like feels the same way, someone else is going to chime in. And if people just keep chiming in, like as a community typically does, like people, they post threads. So that brings more noise, that allows us to see, okay, like, this is not just one person posting about this. If we see like 10 people commenting on the thread, like, okay, like maybe we should take this a little bit more seriously. And not to say we don't take all the issues posted in the community seriously, but it's just a lot easier to see when you see multiple people saying like, oh, we're having this issue. And
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be liked for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyhow if I may. There is one particular issue which does come up a lot in the Zoom forums, and that's this problem of, I can't think of a word for them, horrible people using Zoom as a method of spamming out messages to people. And there is there's probably a few ongoing threads about this, lots of vitriol from users who are completely flabbergasted that you can have these horrible people who can't spam you because they've been blocked. And so they create completely fictitious events and meetings in Zoom and then get Zoom to spam you. And I know this is a big issue. And I know that Zoom is doing lots and lots of things in the background trying to fix all of this. And it's going to take a long time to fix because it's very complicated. It might not seem complicated to users, but
it is.
It is a very complicated issue. And it's not the first platform that's had this issue before. I remember GoToWebinar, and I remember a couple of others. I wish I hadn't mentioned that company's name now because I feel like I'm picking them out. There's always been a problem with these webinar type programs where people can load a list of the people they want to spam, and then they get the email provider of that webinar company, in this case Zoom, to send out their emails. And then what does Zoom say? If somebody says, I want to unsubscribe, what does Zoom say? Unsubscribe from what? From that webinar? From that user? Well, you don't want to unsubscribe from Zoom completely, do you? It's a really big issue. But please don't don't be rude when you spam these problems on Zoom, but do bring them up. If you have an issue on Zoom, bring them up, because I have learned a lot of how to try and stop these sort of things because people have complained. I have an app out there. It's not very famous, but it's a laugh. I have the hand raised app. We created that app because people were doing this. They were raising their hand and they were disrupting webinars. So I sat down and thought, well, wait a minute, I think we can write an app about, and I created an app. It's not used very much, but I tell you what, it did scare a few people who thought they could abuse the system. Because
my thing is, if you can help at least one person, which is what the community is doing, is helping at least one person when you create a post like that. I feel like the job is being done here. And the other beautiful thing about the community is when you post something in the community, chances are it's going to be seen by thousands of people. And like we were talking about earlier, if you're having an issue with Zoom, chances are someone else is having it. And the community content, it continues to live on. So just imagine the impact that you're making from that one post alone is astronomical. And like you said, just post it. If you're having an issue, just post it, because you never know what the outcome can be. But you just got to post first. And unfortunately, we do have things like spam that we have to deal with. And spam is often very trickier than what it seems like just looking at it off first glance, because to deal with spam, like even just within the community itself, is so much that goes into it. And I wish there was always a quick, easy fix, but unfortunately, that's not always the case.
But I will, and Mike will enjoy this, I will make and I can say this, the advantage of being not an employee of Zoom is I don't have the rules. I don't have the NDA that I haven't signed. So I can tell you that I know, because I've experienced it, both in the community and in the developers community, that Zoom has some very, very dirty tricks that allows it to know who the naughty people are. And now and again in the developers forum and also in the community forum, you will get people who will turn up and they will have a certain error number they will quote to you. And they say, I can't get my Zoom to work because I've got error, and I'm not going to mention it because you'll all Google it to find out what it is. I'm just going to keep that secret. But what it means is Zoom has found out that you've been naughty, you've been breaking licensing rules, you've been spamming. And no one's ever told me this, but if I was Zoom, I would be able to know your IP address. I would be able to know the license number. I would be able to know the installation of Zoom that you used. I would also be able to know the MAC address of your network card. I would be able to know the technical identification of the machine you're using. Now, Zoom's never told me any of this, and I don't expect Brie to even comment on it, but I will warn you that I know people that have found that after being naughty, trying to abuse Zoom, they can't physically get a machine to connect to Zoom anymore. They have computers that have been physically blocked from ever using Zoom again because they broke the licensing and they broke the rules. So if you think Zoom lets people off, I can tell you from experience of those people that have complained in the community forums, Zoom is very fair, but if you break the rules, you need to buy a new computer if you want to get on Zoom again. It's that powerful, the company is. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, that shows to me how seriously Zoom takes looking after its community. Because to physically block people from using Zoom because they've abused the system, that is pretty harsh. But it also shows strength of Zoom to stand up for its community and not to take abuse by people. I mean, I've forgotten the name of it. There's a little an acronym just come out in Zoom recently for developers. And it is all about security and abuse of records and data. And it's effectively some new commands that corporates will be able to use to be able to police, so to speak, all the things happening in their Zoom. Zoom is a very its view of data and protecting its users just amazes me, because if when I think about all the different types of users, you've got the little one person user, you've got corporate users, you've got educational users, you've got governments,
Right.
and all the good. And at the end of the day, it's exactly the same version of Zoom for all of us. Okay, there might be features turned on or off depending on who you are and what scale you are, but we're all using the same product. So the security that you put in for government and for corporates is the same security features that we get in a single user version of Pro.
Right. That's a good thing, because if you're using a product, you want to trust that that product is like keeping your data safe. And at Zoom, we do pride ourselves in doing that. Like in the Zoom, just in general, in the community, we want to keep our customers safe, because if you didn't feel safe to use a product, like why would you like want to use it? Like you want to like know that you can trust this company with your data, because if not, like you might want to go elsewhere, but we don't want that. And we pride ourselves on keeping our customers' data safe, keeping them happy. So yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm running a webinar and I don't particularly want certain countries to take part, I don't have to be a corporate user. If I've got a webinar license, I can exclude countries from getting that webinar, just like a corporate could. So and that's what I love about it's almost egalitarian Zoom, isn't it? It doesn't matter which level of user you are, you still get the same good controls for your camera. You still get the same best
You
for
can
the
tailor
audio.
it to your needs.
Yeah, everybody gets the same software across the whole platform. The only difference is, depending on what you pay, you get different features turned on or off. And I've even, although we've tried to say the community forum is the community, I've seen posts there from big corporates. I've seen posts in there from education. If they don't get the answer that they, through whatever channel they usually have, I've seen people come onto the community and post a question in there and get an answer back.
Yeah. And oftentimes you will see people saying like, hey, I submitted a support ticket, or I'm just waiting to hear back on my support ticket, and they'll post it in the community as well. Which, I mean, I feel like if I'm someone who has a question and I'm not getting the response that I needed, or I'm trying to just seek another avenue and getting that response while I wait, like the community is a great place to do that, because the community is 24/7. You got global Zoom users. So you can be in the US and you're posting a question at 9 p.m. It might be a different time somewhere else, and somebody might be on, like a champion might be on. John, you might be on, who knows? And if you know the answer right away and you see the post come in, like they might get a response within the hour, who knows? But that's the beauty of the community. Like you never know who you're gonna get responding to your post. And it just makes it easier to connect. Like you have like say our champions, like I feel like y'all are always on, because y'all are like all over the place. So at any point in the day, there was probably a champion somewhere on the community. Say you see a post coming in at midnight or whatnot, I might be sleeping, but a champion might be on, and you respond to it, and then you can tag me or you can tag another champion who you know has expertise in a certain area. And it's like you never really know who you're gonna get a solution from in the community. But I don't think it matters who you get it from, as long as it works. And some people they don't really care who gives them the answer as long as it's working.
Yeah, I don't want to put the support tickets out of business, but it's always worth if you've got a problem, it's always worth having a quick check on the community and see if it's something, because sometimes it's just something really obvious, but it's only obvious when somebody explains
something really
it to you.
basic. And if they would have looked at the community beforehand, I'm not saying like you have to, because some people they might not know about the community, and they might just be familiar with the process of creating support tickets. But if it's something super simple, like, okay, I need help with adding a virtual background, I'm having issues with it, chances are somebody in the community has had a similar issue, and there are many solutions given the scenario in the community that they probably can find if they search, or somebody can contribute if they create a new post.
Yes, because sometimes you have a problem and you just can't put it into words.
Yeah, like you don't know what's going on.
You can't explain it. Yeah.
Because you got to think about it. Like most of Zoom users, they're not like super technical people, because back when I first started using Zoom, like my technical knowledge was very slim. I was just using it to stay connected with my friends when I moved. And say I was having an issue with like my microphone. Like I don't know how to fix this. Someone else might know. And the community is beautiful for just our everyday users who just want to make sure it's working. Like most of the time people aren't trying to do anything super intricate with Zoom. They're just trying to like make it work.
Yes, guys. Did you think we could spend all this time just talking about a forum? You can see that we probably could talk about this for the next 2 or 3 hours.
We really
This
could.
is just, it's such an exciting place. And if you haven't gone into the forums, you really should have a look. And if you want inspiration about what's going on, just choose the category that you're interested in and have a look down the list of what the latest questions or comments are. There are lots of really useful things that you can learn about the product or part of the product that you're interested in just by the feedback, especially when there's big updates. So if there's if there's been a big update, you can bet there'll be big comments about it in the forums as well.
Like how to use this. Like I saw that this was released. Like how can I make this, fit my needs? And one of my favorite spaces in the community is actually the customer success forum. Our customer success team, they do a great job at posting just, helpful things from the blog, success stories in there. And it's one of those places where I just see so much potential in the community and I would love to see it grow because there are so many great things being shared there. I'm always learning from the posts. Like, oh, I didn't realize Zoom could do this. When did we release this? Because there's always something going on. And that's a good space in the community to subscribe to if you aren't already, because like there's always something new posted in there and I'm always learning. That's one of the spots I just feel like it's just a hidden gem in the community, I must say.
The Zoom Community Forum is the most lovely place. And I recommend it to everybody who uses Zoom. You just don't know what's going to come up next. We probably sound a bit weird talking about a forum like that. But of course, Zoom's all about connecting. And the most exciting place to connect, frankly, is the community forums. I mean, it'd be really cool if it would be like a breakout room in the middle of Zoom. You could just bounce into the community forum and chat with people and come back. But that's not
I love that.
Yet.
Wishful thinking, John. But I do want to share that we have user groups launched in the community. Our user groups, we're growing them out, but we launched them earlier this year. So if you're looking for additional ways to connect within the community, we have location-based user groups. We have user groups based on our programs that we currently offer in the community. We have a Zoom Events Experts user group that I'm sure John is a part of as well. And we have industry user groups too, if you want to check those out. And we recently launched a nonprofit user group, which I'm super excited for. So those are just additional spaces for people to connect based on their interests, their shared location. I just want to make sure I called that out too, because I feel like over the next year or so, those spaces are really going to take off.
Yes, I've been involved in a few of those, and they definitely are a really good another way of connecting to the community, your community of nonprofits, for all those people that are running that type of organization. I'm involved in that one. I keep an eye on that one because of Toastmasters International, which is the nonprofit I'm part of. And yes, the events community. And then there's some location communities, aren't there? There's one for sort of Australia and that sort of area. And
yeah, we have Australia, we have Japan, Singapore, and India right now. But hopefully we can grow those out a bit more over the coming months.
No, I like that. I like that. So what's your, what do you want for Christmas? What's your Christmas present you want for the Zoom community?
My Christmas present for the Zoom community. I feel like I have a few of them. Let me just pick one. Let's see. That's a very good question, John. I would love to see our champion program continue to grow. Like, I feel like the champion program is just like one of my babies in the community. And honestly, the champion program it's my favorite part of the community because it just allows us to connect just more deeply. Because I don't know if y'all experience this, but working remotely sometimes can get very lonely. But the champions, y'all are so connected to us. It just allows me to feel even more human connection to other people that I wouldn't ordinarily, be able to talk to, like, and have conversations like this with. So I would love to see more people join our champion program just to, add some different insights to our community, help us see other ways that we can be better. And that's my Christmas wish for more champions.
Okay, so there's the challenge for you. If you
Yes.
are a particular administrator or a leader, you use Zoom in a particular way on a regular basis, and you think that you know the product quite well, then probably the challenge is first to go to the Zoom community forums, join, see what the questions are there, see what you can answer, see if you have the understanding to answer some of the questions. Then you'll know whether you want to be a Zoom community champion, because I can tell you it is a very fascinating and a very rewarding thing to do, but it takes time, it takes knowledge, and if you don't know stuff, you won't get to be a Zoom community champion. But if you take the time to listen to the answers that are given when you can't, you will learn. It is definitely a community that gives back more than you can put in. It's not an easy job and it's not paid, but you can see that, as Bri says, if you're living in a little world, an office of your own like me here, and you feel a bit lonely and you want to connect with other people doing similar things, the Zoom community forum is a great place to be. And if you've got what it takes to be a community champion, I can tell you that you will most undoubtedly learn more than you can ever give to the community, because there's always stuff coming back. And if you accept that you might have an answer and somebody else might have a better answer, that's when you really learn in the community, because you may have a way of doing it, somebody else will come up with a different way, and then hopefully you take back that you've learnt and you put that back into your life, and it's great fun.
And it's so rewarding. Like we've been saying this whole entire call. It's like whenever you go to the community, you're always going to get something from it, whether it's a new idea or a new question might pop up or just a new connection. There's so much beauty in that, because like the way that our world is nowadays, we're very much so tied to our technology. And if you're like me, you're a remote worker, you're very much tied to your screen. And sometimes there are moments where you don't have a whole lot of human connection. And the community is a great spot to go to if you're feeling like, okay, I could learn a little bit more about Zoom. Or if you're someone who knows that you use Zoom a lot and you're just curious to know like how different features work. Or if you're somebody who owns a business, the community has something for you. The Zoom community has something for really everybody. And if you go through our recent activity feed, you can kind of see just the variety of questions that we have. It kind of showcases the type of people that we have in the community. And I love that. We're just bridging the gap. We're allowing people to connect with other people that they might not otherwise connect with.
Yeah, I agree with
I'm
that.
grateful for that.
Especially if you're an admin or an expert
Yeah.
in your own organization and you feel that you know more about Zoom than anybody else in your organization. You're probably feeling a bit lonely that
Mm-hmm.
everybody comes to you all the time. You come to the community and you find a lot of other people who are in the same boat as you, and you will learn from them. Because I always say, if you're the most clever person in the room, then you better be charging the other people in the room to be there. You want to be successful, you want to be in a room where there are people who know more than you, so you can learn from them. And that's something the
Absolutely.
Zoom community gives me in buckets.
Yes. Like there's always like ways I can see like, okay, like somebody's posting this, like I might not know the answer to it. And it allows me the chance to grow my knowledge and just figure out where there are gaps for me personally and where I can be better. And that's the beauty of the community and the community champion program. It just enlightens us in that way. And you'll never know it all, especially with a large product like Zoom. So the community is a great place to just, figure out where those gaps are for you and just continue to grow in your knowledge, because there's always something new being posted. There's always going to be something that you haven't thought about that somebody else might have thought about and posted. So it's just so much to gain from the community, but there's even more so for you to give, especially if you're somebody who uses Zoom day in and day out like we do.
And I do have to warn you, there is a monthly meeting and it is a bit competitive. We all sit
Well, we
there.
love some competitiveness in the community.
Yeah. I can answer questions in the community, but unless people like the answers I give and take them as the solution to the answers I give, they don't count. Well, they do count for quite a bit, but they're
Don,
not
you get a lot
important.
of
They've got
accepted
to be there.
solutions now.
Yeah. And I do know some community champions are a lot better than getting the users to accept them as solutions as I am. But it's quite competitive each month for us all to see who did the most responses, who got the most solutions, who got the most likes. And it's friendly, but it is competitive.
Yeah, we love some friendly competition.
Yeah. And sometimes if you're lucky, you might get some swag like this one.
And who doesn't love good swag? You get your swag, get your badges. Come on to the community. The community is a spot to be.
Yeah, it's a lovely place. I do apologize for this completely shameless plug for the Zoom Community Forum, but it is one of the hidden gems of Zoom. I'm just going to exaggerate. Nearly 500,000 people have taken part in the Zoom community. That is an enormous number. That really is an enormous number. And I will continue taking part in it, and I look forward to seeing everybody else in it. And it is just an amazing place to be. And I'm lucky because I have a second forum, because we have a forum for the developers. But that's just like having all the other separate forums for everybody else. The difference is, if you're not a programmer, you don't want to go on the developers forum because it's all technical APIs and code and things. Whereas
all the scary things.
All the scary things. But the community forum is just normal users doing normal things in extraordinary ways. You have a question about something that just niggles them, something just doesn't work right, and they put it in there. And as you said, none of us are unique. And whenever you have a problem, there's going to be a few hundred, maybe thousands of people that are going to experience the same issue. And if you think it's a problem, go into the forums, have a look first.
Yes,
because sometimes you can just find your answer. Always look first. And there could well be an answer, and then maybe you just want to add a comment onto that thread. But if you don't find an answer, post in the forum and see what happens.
And it's easy to do.
It's ridiculously easy to do. And it's a lovely place, and there's lots of lovely people here. And thank you for being the lovely person looking after us all, because we feel well looked after by you and your team. And I'm just amazing. To me, you're almost like the boss of the company, because it's amazing how many so-called famous, shall we say, famous Zoomies who are experts in particular things or other will suddenly appear in the community and just contribute a little bit. And it's absolutely fantastic. You think that they are like untouchable and they are so important that no one would ever be able to communicate with them. And then suddenly they do a post, or they answer a question in the community forum, or I get a private message about I've found a problem and I've brought a problem, and somebody will private message me and say, can I help you more with it? It is just brilliant. That. Do you have any final words that you'd like to contribute? I think you had a few slides, but I think we've pretty much covered them all, haven't we?
Yeah, we really did. It's okay. But thank you so much for inviting me, because I love any chance to talk about the community and the Community Champion Program. And I just want to shout you out because you do so much amazing work in the Community Champion Program. You're truly the embodiment of what we want a champion to be. And we thank you for everything that you do. We're super grateful for you. And thanks for the chance to just talk about the community, because the community is truly a place for everybody. If you use Zoom, there's a place for you in the community. Even if you don't have a question in particular, you can still go to the community, browse our posts. We have some off-topic stuff in our social corner if you want to look for more fun posts. Like we have those success stories. We literally have something for everybody. So check out the community today, and it's easy to join. All you have to do is sign in with your Zoom credentials and create you a fun username. But thank you so much again, John. This was a pleasure.
Toastmasters International, I'm going to give you a little plug here. I was a board carer for my parents. Because of Toastmasters, I learnt better public speaking. But as you all know, if you haven't heard it before, that organization of 350,000 members faced extinction. I mean extinction. I mean ceasing to exist when COVID hit. Because suddenly an organization that met face to face in little rooms all around the world couldn't. Thanks to Zoom, we were able to keep a great number of communities going through COVID. And Toastmasters International of that 350,000 members, I doubt there's 1,000 that are salaried, because the only salaried people are the ones that work at head office. And the whole organization works on a voluntary basis. And this is what opened my eyes to what you give, you get back in spades. And it's wonderful that Zoom, that saved my life of Toastmasters, runs exactly the same ethos. Mike and I have regular meetings with quite a few important product managers in Zoom. And we share with them and they share with us. But the biggest hub for sharing is the Zoom Community Forum. I couldn't recommend it anymore. It's the greatest part of the community. It's the most effective part of the community. And Mike and I, if we sat down, we could probably tell you a dozen, 2 dozen stories of when we've had issues with Zoom and we've raised complaints about them, raised issues about them, and magically, months later, updates come to Zoom and those problems disappear. It takes a long while for those software engineers sometimes to work out what a problem is, work out how to fix it for the users who have problems without breaking it for everybody else, to then get time to actually put it into the product, test it, and release it. Those things don't happen overnight. But when you have a problem with Zoom, you're probably not the only person. And the chances are that a short-term fix is available from your friends in the Zoom community. And it's also quite likely a long-term fix is probably going to be created from that situation. And over time, filter all the way up to the engineering team, who will then be able to release a fix to that problem. So if you like Zoom, you don't have to like it as much as I do, but if you do like Zoom and you do want Zoom to continue its successful way, then being part of the Zoom community, either as a champion or just as a contributor yourself, is a great way to learn and to give back to the community. Bri, it's been absolute joy to have you here.
It's been a joy to be here.
I'll probably want you to come back some other time, and you can bring some of your other
Just let me know, and let me know if I can bring friends.
Yeah, and we'll have we could I don't know. We'll think of something. Well, I can think of so many things, so I need to filter them down. But yeah, there's a lot of things we could talk to about the Zoom community and how to use it and all those things. But for today, thank you so much for being here. Poor Mike hasn't really had a word. Mike, do you want to say a word before we end?
Word.
Mike is being
No, I'm
shy.
kidding. I'm curious. I'm being a busy boy being in production studio today, everybody. So
You've been doing a great
noticed.
job. You've been doing a great
Thank
job.
you, sir.
Crushing it.
We persuaded him to join. He's now joined as a community champion.
He's a champion now.
Oh,
So-
who told you? I haven't told anybody yet. No, I'm kidding. No, it's cool. It's very cool. Yes. Yeah. No, Bree and the crew definitely wanted me to join through all the different stuff that I'm doing with the Zoom events portal and of course through the meetings. Of course, everything trickles down from events all the way down to meetings. So if you have a poor meetings thing, you're never going to have a good event. So you've got to go through all the different products to get up to, making sure that your event works properly. So yeah, again, I'll be talking to Bree afterwards about this Zoom events community that she might be starting up too. I don't know about that one yet, so I will talk to her about that one.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, guys. It's been great to have you here. And for those watching on YouTube, don't forget that I do 2 or 3 of these a week. They don't all make it to YouTube because sometimes they are special ones, but most will. And for this one, what's the URL? community.zoom.us?
.com.
Yeah, that'll find it. Or if you just type Zoom Community into your search engine,
You'll find it.
I'm pretty much sure it will find it. And what's great to me is even that AI thing, I've put AI questions about Zoom in and it starts quoting content from the community forum. So even AI thinks the Zoom community
You love
is a
to see
great
it.
place to be. There can't be a better recommendation than that, can there?
Truly.
Thank you very much. And I'm wondering if Mike's going to be clever enough to play us out now with the theme tune. Let's see if he's.
Yeah, I love that
got
theme
the
song. I'm gonna hear it
production
again.
Every week we open wide the virtual stage where ideas spark and wisdom fills the page. From the UK to the land of maple trees, John and Mike bring clarity with ease. We're building meetings, webinars with might, helping you shine your message, taking flight. Whether you're new or you've done this before, Lord Zoom Live will help you do much more. We're building meetings, webinars with might, helping you shine your message, taking flight. Whether you're new or you've done this before, Lord Zoom Live will help you do much more. Thank you for joining us, we're glad you're here. Together we grow, it's loud and clear. On Zoom we connect, we learn, we grow. Welcome my friend, enjoy the show. From big events to breakout rooms with flair, we've got the tools and we're ready to share. Guest experts drop in, bringing gold each time, with insights and tricks to help you climb. Can't make it live, we've got you still. On YouTube and LinkedIn, we're giving that thrill. So tune in later or catch us next round. Either way, your success is where we're bound. Thank you for joining us, we're glad you're here. Together we grow, it's loud and clear. On Zoom we connect, we learn, we glow. Welcome my friend, enjoy the show. And make it live, we've got you still. On YouTube and LinkedIn, we're giving that thrill. So tune in later or catch us next round. Either way, your success is where we're bound. Now take the spotlight, the stage is yours. Bring your message through virtual doors. Each week we gather, and now you know you're not alone, so let it flow. Thank you for joining us, now go and shine. Share what you've learned, your voice, your time. With Lord Zoom Live, your power will grow. It's time to build your own show.
Goodbye, everyone.